All right. Welcome in to the Untitled College Football Show, episode 3. I got Travis with me. I got Matt with me. We got others who will be joining in shortly. Uh, yeah, how we doing, boys?
I'm solid.
Not
I'm.
bad.
All
Go ahead.
right.
Go ahead, Matt. Go ahead.
Well, better than some of my fantasy teams here with Maserati Marv taking a dump on my team along with Kyler Murray. But yeah, big week ahead here.
Huge week of college football ahead.
How are you guys doing after our Mason Thomas and Greg Sankey decided to set Auburn back a bit?
Uh, truthfully, I understand the frustration with the officiating. It was bad, but at the same time, we did allow 10 sacks.
Yeah.
So it's how much of that can you really put on officiating? Because there was times where our offensive line couldn't hold up and pass for it against Oklahoma. And there was also times where Jackson Arnold just simply held onto the ball way too long. So it's yes, officiating was, not great in that game. And if, things go differently, Auburn might win. But also if we don't hold the ball for, way too long, we probably also win that game as well. If he hits Cam Coleman on that one street down the middle, on the hashes, that's a touchdown, and Cam Coleman probably scores there, and that's probably, Auburn scores there, and then how does that impact the rest of the game? You know what I mean? There's just so many things that were play-wise, not even with the penalties, where if Auburn just took care of their business, they could have won the game.
Mm-hmm.
And that's been
what do you think of the explanation after? Are we for or against the hey, we got it wrong, but can't do anything? So tough one.
Against it, because it's obvious that it was wrong. So it's them just going, hey, we know we screwed you guys over, but there's nothing to do. So just sorry, guys. It's okay, you're admitting to
Why
it, but
can
then
Why can the league office, when something like that happens, not call why isn't there an official that can be hey, this is wrong, fix it on the spot, why is there not why is that not a thing? Why do they just gotta they missed it
yeah,
you know what I'm getting at?
Yeah,
If that were the Iron Bowl, what would your reaction be?
Oh, I'd be still mad to this day. I'd be mad right now.
Travis,
January 6th in Birmingham.
Yeah. Yeah. He'd be in jail, probably.
Yeah, I'd be, if that was against, Alabama or even Georgia or one of the more traditional rivals, LSU or somebody, I'd still be all right, screw job. Auburn got hosed, obviously.
Yeah, Austin would have been bark, gotcha. Yeah.
What's
Go dogs.
why is there no accountability actions will be taken or whatever they say, why is that there's no transparency to the public with officiating.
Mm-mm.
And that's my frustration with it is where is the transparency with how is this process so screwed up? How do these, and then why, what's happening to these officials? Okay, they're okay, they'll be held accountable. So what's being held accountable? They have to call Kentucky versus Mississippi State instead of Alabama versus Georgia because they messed up. Is that the accountability?
I mean, I think that's fair. And also, I saw someone say on Twitter, and I never thought about this, and it's a great idea. After these games, coaches always can get media requests, right? The media can request to interview certain coaches, certain players, right? It should be the same with officials. You should
do that in the NBA and the NFL now. They have that.
Do they really?
Yeah.
Well, then college football and college basketball should implement that as well, because it's a lot of these times, not just Auburn related with this past, game versus OU. There's plenty of times where you're okay, officiating clearly favored one side here. And I'm not going as far as saying, the refs wanted OU to win, but it definitely seemed like there was an imbalance one way or the other.
Well, and I can't imagine that Greg Sankey wouldn't support that. If I were him as a commissioner of the conference and I had to answer questions on behalf of the officials who messed up a call, I'd be like, yeah, this is not my job. I should not have to answer for this. Like,
No.
the people who made the call should have to answer. So,
Yeah.
yeah, I would
mean,
support that as well.
just
and,
to be
and it's like the whole process too, where like so like these officials make a mistake that cost Auburn a game that could indirectly down the road cost Hugh Freeze his job. But then if Hugh Freeze goes in a press conference and like says the officials messed up, then he's fined $50,000 or whatever it is for criticizing officials. Like, why is that a thing? Like,
no idea. Yeah, because you're like 100% right. Like, let's say this like spirals Auburn season, right? Let's say they lose to Texas A&M upcoming this weekend, then they lose to Georgia, and you're sitting there 3-3. How does that impact Hugh Freeze's tenure? Because of officiating, all just because of like a few missed calls, like it completely derails everything.
Yeah. I mean, that could
because
be...
it wasn't just the substitution play. You had the fumble at the start of the game that Auburn took back for a touchdown that they took off the board.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that scoop and score, that was ridiculous. Like, I thought that was a touchdown. I mean, was he down? What do y'all think about that?
I mean, the fact of the matter is, it's too big of a play to get wrong. So,
Yeah.
like, I mean, and that, honestly, like you said, could be the difference between, like, going to the Outback Bowl or the Birmingham Bowl or no
Yeah.
bowl. So, like, and I mean, that's a call. It's so early in the game, so they probably thought it was not that big of a deal, but
And then
it
it
ended up
was.
being like, it ended up being like a really consequential call. So
It's also a huge momentum thing. Like, that flipped the game momentum. Like, if Auburn gets that, like, you just felt like after that play, Auburn had all the momentum, and it was theirs to lose. Now, would they have kept that? I don't know. That's a good question. But still, at the same time, what's up, man?
What up? Can y'all hear me now?
Yeah, we got you. Yeah, we're just talking about the Auburn-Oklahoma officiating.
Oh, yeah, that was pitiful. That was
What's
terrible.
your thoughts?
Refs gave Oklahoma that game.
Okay.
Oh, love it. You're throwing 99 already. Love it.
We're getting
Hey,
started
at least
early.
Mateer's out, so Oklahoma got the karma.
There was also that one dude who, like, wished Jackson Arnold, like, would be carted off. Like, there was that tweet where it was like, this weekend the Sooners are going to cart Jackson Arnold off the field with an injury. And
I gotta
now,
say, sorry to cut you off, but like, yeah, Oklahoma fans, like, they are nuts. They're crazy in their own way. Like, they fit right into the SEC, like, crazy fine bomb caller kind of personality. Yeah.
Why are they mad at Jackson Arnold? Like, what did
because
I like?
He sucked for him, and they're like, "Ooh, you owe us, Jackson Arnold. You can't.
You
go
should
somewhere
have
else and be
stayed and
good."
been a backup. Like
When
what?
literally the irony of the situation is like Oklahoma for years has like lived off of like quarterbacks who were good at other schools, and now they come to play for them. Like that has been the case with every quarterback, like Jalen Hurts, Baker Mayfield, Kyler Murray, now John Mateer.
Yeah.
And like, I don't know, like.
But it happens to them, and they're like, all right, forget about this guy.
Yeah, like, well, what are we doing? Like, I think Ohio State fans are, like, out of control, but they were not saying that. They weren't like, fuck you, Joe Burrow!
No.
Like, when he went and, like, had the season you have with LSU there. So, yeah, it's a weird thing of Oklahoma fans to do. That is weird.
I feel like even with Oklahoma...
We're also talking about the same fan base that defended Joe Mixon. So, I mean, it's like, this goes back.
Yeah. Yeah.
Now she had it coming.
Yeah, that, not the best of looks.
Yeah, if you're defending Joe Mixon on that, tells me all I need to know. Tells me all I need to know.
I mean, that literally cost, that situation pretty much cost Bob Stoops his job, because then, like, a few months after that, he, like, retires. In air quotes, and I think that was like Bob, I don't know if we can come back from this one. So you want to bow out now? Like, it's the same thing that happened with Urban with the Zach Smith situation.
Yeah,
this is not good. But anyway, I'm over the OU game. It's like we did get.
I'm
screwed.
not.
I am. I am. I'll be honest. My mind's on Texas A&M. Like, if we win this one,
If
like
Auburn misses the college football playoff by a game, how will you remember it as like, yeah, it was because of that game that we had that could have been won. Yeah.
Well, I think that's
so I'm curious to see how it ages.
I think that, like you said, it depends how it ages. It depends on the wins and losses. And it depends who we
things
lose to.
spiral in a different way. Like, this team goes into this week, if they're coming off a win, like, things can spiral in a good way or a bad way. And if they had the momentum coming off that win, which, by the way, like, this SEC schedule, where, like, we get back-to-back road games against Oklahoma and Texas A&M, like, that's awesome. Like, bravo, SEC.
Yeah, that's rough.
Well, Texas has, like, the cupcake portion of the schedule.
Yeah, I mean, then after this, we get Georgia at home.
Yeah.
So it's like, it's not on the road, but it's still like you're playing with a top 5 team, even though you're at home. It's still like, all right, sweet.
Yeah, and they're not coming off the easiest game themselves, so it's, remains to be seen. Speaking of Texas, before we get started here, can we talk about Arch? Just flexing on Sam Houston State.
Yeah, I mean, I think at that point, though, like, with how rough of, like, a season he's had to start, he needed that. Like, he's got it
a lot out, yeah.
Like, he's been absolutely, like, dunked on every chance someone can get. Like, preseason Heisman favorite, then in the season it's just been terrible. And everywhere you look, it's just talking about how bad he's been and, like, all these crazy things about him and stuff like that. So it's like, you know what? Sure, it's a lesser opponent, but man, with the whoopings you've been taking, you gotta take the wins you can get whenever you can get them, and that's one he needed.
Very fair.
Did Sark's comments from a few weeks ago, like, inspire any of you to, like, at least take a look at your poop face and be like, huh? Like, I wonder if he has a point here.
Wait,
because I've admittedly, like, a couple weeks ago, like, when they asked about, like, Arch's face when, like, he was thrown and he looked like he was hurt, and then somebody asked Sark about it, and Sark was like, well, what's your face when you're taking a dump, like, and, like, I have thought about my face while I'm defecating since that, so I just wanted to throw that out there.
This is great journalism. This is great. This is just great stuff.
Let's get Jacob in here, yeah.
As I say, Trav, can we get Jacob in here? He's in the waiting room.
Let's get Jacob in here.
You need to ask Jacob that same question, Travis. Also, instead of the giving him the ETSU 1 minute, we're giving him 2 minutes. It's his birthday, so I'm feel like we're being a little, kinder around here for him.
Hey, what's up?
Jacob, welcome in. Have you examined your face? When you're pooping after Sark's comments a few weeks ago?
I have not. I can't say that I have.
Oh my god! I think it's just you, Travis. I think it's just you. What an absolute!
Yeah, I thought it was a fair question.
No, it is. This is a great start to the pod. This is awesome.
Yeah,
we've had the Auburn rant segment about OU. What does your poop face look like because of Steve Sarkisian? This might be the greatest 14 minutes in, like, journalism history right here. And on the Untitled College Football Show.
We give the people what they want.
I don't know if that's what people want. You know what? You're probably right. But let's go ahead and get into the slate. Starting Friday night, got Florida State going to Virginia. Florida State's a 7-point favorite. The over-under is 60.5. Who wants to start with this one?
I'll just start by saying the spread in this one is very ratty.
Yeah, I'm hammering FSU spread.
Like, this is a weird spot for Florida State to me. It's a weekday game against Virginia with Miami next week for Florida State. Like, this is one of those weird spots, and, like, on paper, you would probably think FSU is better than like a touchdown favorite against them. So like Travis said, this is like a really ratty line. And like earlier in the week, I was like, oh, Florida State's only a touchdown favorite. It's Virginia. Give me like Florida State. But the more I sat back and thought about it, I was like, actually, I'm not touching this game. Because like it just feels like one of those weird like weekday games that Florida or Virginia's gonna like, really make it gross and just like keep it closer than people expect.
And I think this is a classic trap game because Virginia isn't that bad. They're 3-1. They have Chandler Morris starting at QB. It's not like they're
not horrible.
They're not horrible. Virginia from a couple years ago. So,
but yeah. Anyone else got any thoughts on this one?
I would actually defend Virginia's honor a bit. They have looked really good in the games that they should win, and they lost a tough one at NC State. So they, they've been playing better football. It's one of those like Florida State is so like offensively untouchable. The way they've looked, be interesting to see them in like a road environment of any kind that they haven't really seen yet. So yeah, I would probably, gun to my head, I would take Florida State to cover that, but I wouldn't be shocked if Virginia were to keep it close on them. I don't think they have enough firepower to win outright, but I would say that game could be close. Wouldn't shock me. So yeah, Virginia's a good team though. They'll probably get to a bowl game and they'll make some noise in the ACC here and there. But yeah, this might be a kind of rough 2.5 quarter start for Florida State, and then they kind of figure it out in the second half and pull away.
See, like I flip-flopped on this game. Like early on, I was on FSU -7. Then I was like, okay, because of all like the things surrounding it, a weekday game at Virginia with Florida State having Miami like upcoming, I was like, Virginia +7 feels like what you have to bet. Then also you like you brought up the NC State game. CJ Bailey had a really good game on the ground. He had like 40 yards, 50 yards, and 2 touchdowns. And like Thomas Castellanos didn't have that same kind of impact on the ground with his rushing ability as well. So it's like that's why I'm staying away from this one, like actual putting money on it. Because I could see a world where Florida State blows them out because they can't stop the run game. And then there's also, the weekday game, conference game with Miami on deck where Virginia hangs around for more than we thought they would. So I'm personally not betting this game, but if I had to pick, FSU wins and Virginia covers, just with all the, surrounding like things around the game.
Yeah, that's fair.
I
still think Charlottesville's that magical of an atmosphere. Sure, it's a road game.
It's not more about like the environment itself of Virginia, but it's more about
I feel like they're gonna. Obviously, I don't think they're gonna blow them out, but I do think still like they're comfortably gonna win by like 14.
So you think FSU covers?
Oh, absolutely.
Okay.
Is
that a lock? Is that a guarantee?
I think they're gonna want to run it up. They know they're the better team, and then try to be conservative and rest up for Miami next week.
I think you also have to. Yes, you are correct. Charlottesville is not a magical atmosphere. There have been some just absolute like all-time memes with like Notre Dame like up 48-0 and such on like. The fact is that it's the first time that Florida State's played away from home, and then they got a 2-game stretch coming up with Pitt and Miami, which will serve as some form of trap game for them in one way or another. So like it's a road game and they're not playing Kent State. So I think there will be some resistance. So I can see why the line is what it is. So
yeah. All right, so I just will make predictions for this game. We'll move on to the next one. I'll say FSU 31, Virginia 27.
Wow.
I think they hang around.
I guess I'll go. I think it's going to be Florida State 38, Virginia 31. Virginia just beats the spread barely. Or no, the spread's 6.5, isn't it?
It's 7 right now,
That's
so that'd be a
7.
push.
So
All right.
right on the money.
Yeah.
I think Vegas gets this one right.
I don't think. I mean, you guys are both like. I think it goes one of two ways. Like if FSU scores 38 points, I don't think this game's going to be close. But I think Virginia's way to stay in this game is if FSU just rolls in like sleepy, and then you catch yourself in the fourth quarter, and this is like a low-scoring one-possession game. I think that's where it favors Virginia. Like if FSU is scoring 38 points, like I don't think Virginia's going to go bar for them, like you guys are kind of predicting. That's just the way I see it. But
Okay.
I mean, the way I see it, I'm kind of around that. I mean, it's still a conference opener game. They're gonna want to make a statement.
Mm-hmm.
They held Bama to 17. I just really think, honestly, if I had to put a score on it, I think it's gonna be like FSU 38-40. I think Virginia maybe gets 10-14. So yeah, probably 38-14. I think it's gonna be a blowout.
Blowout.
Yeah,
Matt,
I'm
you
going to
got
say
score prediction?
42-24. I'm going to say
Okay.
42-24 Florida State. I'm going to say it starts out a little slow for Florida State, and then they ultimately just figure it out. Third and fourth quarter, run away with the game.
All right. I like it. All right, next one. Another Friday night game.
I didn't even get my prediction. I didn't even get my prediction. What the hell?
I thought you got yours.
What are we doing? No, I didn't get my score.
Travis.
What are we doing here?
My bad. Hand up accountability. Make your score prediction. My bad.
All right, Florida State 28, Virginia 17.
Okay. There you go. My bad, Travis. That's on me. Accountability.
Love it.
All right, so now that we've got everybody's score prediction, we move on to the next one. We got TCU at Arizona State. Arizona State's a 3-point favorite. The over and unders or the total's 54.5. Joof, our resident Big 12 man.
Yep. So you can see back there, obviously.
Can we get a recap? Can we get a recap of last week from you in Arizona State performance before
we
Kenny
played,
Dillingham.
honestly, we played the best defensive game we played all year, I'd argue. I think we played better than we played against Auburn. I mean, we shut down.
Which was really not good.
Okay, well, baby steps here. Obviously, this defense is still really banged up. Like, we saw Travion Barnes go out really early, I think first quarter. But we shut down Jordan Tyson, shut down Sam Levitt's run game, all things considered. We held Jordan Tyson under 100 yards, which I think is a win for us. And then I think what it just comes down to is I thought it was poor clock management of Dave Aranda in the fourth quarter. Obviously, the seam with Michael Trigg up the middle, but then you leave Kenny Dillingham 2 minutes, 3 timeouts to go score a field goal. I'm not saying Michael Trigg should go down there, but I think we should have taken more time off the
Mind
clock.
you, Travis, Juice's hate for Kenny Dillingham does somewhat rival your hate for Nick Saban.
There's no
One of
way.
the closest
There's
I've
no
ever
I
seen.
think Kenny Dillingham is an absolute scumbag of a coach. I mean, last year he was blaming losses on players. I mean, why do we celebrate Mike Gundy? Because Mike Gundy's most famous quote is about how you should never blame a loss on a player. I'll leave it at that. Kenny Dillingham is the worst coach and the most unlikable coach in the Big 12, hands down. But I think we roll into Oklahoma State and blow them out this weekend. We don't even need to cover that game. We're gonna comfortably win that game by at
Thank
least
you.
probably
Yes,
20.
Oklahoma
Flip
State
that.
post Gundy firing. Breaking news. My
Although,
phone
I
is
will
going
say
to
this,
fall
when
out
we
of my
played-
hand from the hot take.
When we played TCU after they fired Gary Patterson in 2021, when we won the Big 12, I think TCU was like 5-3 at that point, or like 4-4, and we somehow lost, and then still went on to win the Big 12 that year. So we could be in for another trap game, but after a big
You're
head
going to
coach
blow them
fire,
out, but it could be a trap game.
it's gonna go one or the other way.
Stand by. Yeah. We're 20.5-point favorites, but stand by here just in case.
I'm just worried about what happened when TCU fired Gary Patterson. But anyways,
Justin
back on
Blackman
track.
comes out of the crowd and shoots up Oklahoma State again. It's gonna be trouble.
Getting back on track. I think TCU wins on the road. I think they're hot right now. They handled SMU at home. I think
Best quarterback in the country they handled. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean Jennings didn't have his greatest game, but I mean his ability to extend plays is unlike no other. So it's going to come down to if Levitt can mimic that gameplay.
Wait,
Where I
who
mean,
didn't have a good game?
I mean, I didn't think Jennings had his greatest game. SMU defense also is just not great, but Jennings was what kept them in that game by just extending plays, and so it's going to come down to if TCU's defense can put up a
Thank
similar
goodness you don't have
performance.
Heisman votes. We'd be in trouble. Yeah. Kevin Jennings would be in New York. Yeah.
I like Sonny Dykes on the road here. I think SMU. I think honestly, I think it's going to be not SMU, TCU by 3. I think they'll win probably 30-27.
Okay. Jacob, I feel like you haven't said much about this one. If you want to hop in,
I guess I'll say I think TCU they're one of the surprise teams this year. They're kind of the sleeper in the Big 12. Josh Hoover has been playing great. They of course smoked Belichick to start the year, and then Chapel Bill, and then you have them going in or beating Baylor last week in a game a lot of people thought Baylor was going to win. So I think I got TCU in this game. Arizona State. Wait, who did TCU played SMU last week?
Yeah,
They did. Yeah.
Yeah. But I mean, that was a good win, good rivalry win for TCU. And then Arizona State, they beat Baylor last week. A lot of people had Baylor in that one, but so Arizona State, they're still a decent team, but I think TCU has more firepower at this point. So give me TCU. We'll say 35-24. TCU.
Okay. Wow.
Hey, I will say this too. We lost that game. ASU did not win that game. The turnover margin was 3. Josh Cameron, our most reliable wide receiver, fumbled twice, ran a lousy route, and it gets picked off. And they only won by 3 points. I mean, if you're winning by if you're getting a turnover margin of 3, you should be winning at least 10-14, not a walk-off field goal in the fourth quarter. So that's why I'm still riding TCU's got this. But I also think they're very overrated, and Josh Hoover is a furry.
Wow. You heard it here first. Yeah.
So TCU is winning. They're overrated, and they're a furry. And Baylor, by the way, is going to smoke Oklahoma State, but they're also on upset alert.
Heard it here first.
It's tea time right now.
Yeah,
Don't.
that's the juice way.
Don't, Travis.
Yeah.
All right. See, what scares me about this one is like looking at the betting odds, right? Like Arizona State's a 3-point favorite, right? But like the majority of like the money is on TCU money line, while the majority of the money on the spread is on ASU. So it's like that freaks me out a little bit because like you have one side so heavy on the spread and then the other so heavy on the money line. So like when I see bets like that, it makes me uncomfortable really picking a side because it could go either way. But I think with this one, like, man, I think I'm going to go with TCU. I think Josh Hoover is the difference here. And I think also like TCU can attack them in different ways, like with their offense. I think you could rely on the run game as well as the pass game with like Josh Hoover leading the way. So I'm going to say TCU wins. I'm going to go TCU wins 31-28. I think it's a close one, but a good game. Travis? Uh-oh. Matt, I'll flip it to you then since Travis is.
Well,
Was I called upon?
On Arizona State on this one. Yeah. You gotta first of all, it's the Arizona State defense that's been playing better. Juice guy, Sawyer Robertson leads the nation in passing. They only held Baylor to 24 points. And they actually played like not horrible at Mississippi State. Obviously, they were like in the top 15 at the time, so that was considered not a good loss. Mississippi State's playing good football though themselves, and yeah, I think that loss will age a little better. But yeah, the Arizona State defense is playing better, and then really it's just like the TCU defense. Their work is kind of cut out for him. Like it's basically like Tyson or no one. Like he's comfortably carrying them offensively. if they had usage rate the same way they have it in basketball, his usage rate would be through the roof. It's literally like just him. So ball security for Levitt hasn't been great. He's already thrown 3 picks. So I think this will be a game that they can probably get back on track offensively, and then defensively they're playing good football. So I'll probably lean the way of Arizona State. And yeah, I would say that this will be like probably a 28-24 type of game for ASU. They win and cover.
All right. Trav, you want to?
Yeah, sorry, I'm getting everything settled here. I just got home. Yeah, I like Arizona State here. Yeah, I don't really have much more to add than that. Sorry, I'm getting everything set. I'm getting my
Forks up.
bearing. Yeah, forks up. Like, yeah, I'm getting my stuff together over here. So I'm not thinking about. But yeah, I don't know. I think I agree with what Matt said. Yeah, Arizona State.
All right. So we got myself, Jacob, and Joof on TCU, and then Matt and Travis on Arizona State.
Yeah, hold on. I'm trying. All right.
All right. I know Joof has you off soon, so I'm going to try to get these big games out of the way. We're going to go to Oxford, Mississippi for this one. Number 4 LSU travels to number 13. Yeah, number 13 Ole Miss. Even though the AP Ole Miss is number 4 in the nation, or excuse me, LSU is number 4 in the nation. Ole Miss is a 1.5 point favorite, and the total's at 56.5.
The Landry Kiffin Bowl.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, about that. That is mental warfare on one of the sides. Is that Lane Kiffin trying to get in Whit-Wheat's head? Is it Whit-Wheat trying to get in his head? I gotta know. Like, that feels like such a Lane Kiffin
Gotta
move.
be Lane going after
It has
Whit.
Lane written all over it.
Yeah, it feels like Lane Kiffin. And
I'm hammering the under in that game too.
Yeah.
But hold up, he tweeted bet the over.
Good.
Kiffin tweeted bet the over.
No.
You're not buying it?
No.
This is going to be a grind out game once again for LSU.
See, I do like the under in this one, but in this spot for some reason, like whenever I saw this spread, I was like, I love Ole Miss minus 1.5. Like, I think Ole Miss is going to win this game outright. I love them here because like everybody, like week 1, it seemed like that Clemson win was so impressive, and everyone was like, oh wow, LSU's really, really good now. And LSU also still might be really, really good. But Clemson
somebody more.
He scored finally. But anyway, so like that week 1 game was super impressive, like beating Clemson. But hindsight now, Clemson's just terrible. Like, so how impressive is that win now? And the LSU defense is legit, but there's real concerns with that offensive line in that run game. Because if LSU gets down and then they expect Garrett Nussmeier just to throw the ball to get back into it and can't run the ball, that plays into Ole Miss's hand because Ole Miss has one of the better pass rushes in the nation. Like, I like Ole Miss in this one. What do y'all think?
Well, we got to figure out if LSU can run the ball or not.
I don't think they can.
They haven't shown an ability to do it yet. I see Matt making faces already. He seems, but like to me, that's the key.
He's trying to mimic Pudge.
Because Nussmeier, whether he's hurt, whatever it is, like is limited right now. So like, if this turns into like a shootout, it's not going to favor LSU because I don't know if Nussmeier is either talented or healthy or whatever the issue is with Nussmeier right now. Like, that offense hasn't shown an ability where you'd feel comfortable just if this turns into fireworks that LSU can figure it out. So like, LSU is going to have to establish the run in this game and play their classic LSU style of football if this is going to go their way. And that's like, and we haven't seen, and it's like you really got to ask questions, especially like I said it jokingly in the group chat last week, but like I mean it. Like LSU's hanging their hat off that week 1 win at Clemson right now. That win looks a lot less impressive right now than it did 3 weeks ago.
It's aged
like,
poorly.
yeah, like are we sure LSU is that great of a team that we thought they were after that game? because seeing how bad Clemson is, it's got to raise some questions for you.
Just
And
what was the score to that one? 17-10.
17-10, yeah.
Yeah.
So
I mean,
Hey,
makes you
Haynes King
wonder.
put 24 up, so
Say that one
Like-
more time.
Haynes King ended up with 24 on Clemson, so
Yeah.
So that's the thing is like I'm still not sold going into this game that like we know what LSU is. Like they just haven't looked like when you see what Clemson is and factor that into how you evaluate them, they look like a lot less impressive of a team and they haven't been able to run the ball. Nussmeier's hasn't looked good. And so yeah, LSU is going to have to establish some sort of identity in this game on offense, whatever it is, to compete. And like that's why I'm leaning Ole Miss too. Like just talking it out, thinking about it. Like it seems because I don't know I don't know what LSU is on offense, and if Ole Miss comes out and what quarterback is starting for Ole Miss, by the way, has
the backup.
Trinidad Chambliss.
Yeah.
From Ferris State transfer.
okay.
D2
Yeah, I didn't even like they have two really good quarterbacks, so I didn't even know which one was starting.
It doesn't matter, I don't think.
Yeah. So yeah, like that's where I really either Nussmeier's gonna have to magically get healthy or take a big step forward in this game. If he does, then they can keep up, or LSU is gonna have to figure out how to run the ball. That's my breakdown on what's gonna decide what direction this game goes.
So what's your pick before we pivot to someone else? If you
Like score or just like who I think's gonna win or
score prediction?
I'll do. Give me Ole Miss 27-24.
Okay. Joof, what's your thoughts?
I mean LSU as a defense, I think Lane. I don't know. I like the under. That's my lock. I would probably say it's probably gonna come down to like I like LSU. I think they still win this. I think 24-21.
Okay. Jacob.
I'm gonna go with LSU beating Ole Miss in a close one, 24-21. Although I think Trinidad Chambliss plays a good game, I think LSU's defense just kind of slows down Ole Miss's offense.
Matt.
Yeah, I think the most proven unit and the unit that you can hang your hat on the most in this game is the LSU defense. And I think that this is going to be the best defense that Trinidad Chambliss has ever seen in his life. I think the fact that I do agree. I do think that if this gets into like if the total is around like 80 points or something crazy, that probably does benefit Ole Miss. So I do think that Ole Miss has been really dangerous running the ball themselves. Their running back, Juan Lacey, is a force. He's already got like 7 touchdowns or something. So that has kind of been their bread and butter, trying to get their guys into space. And I don't know if they're going to be able to do that against LSU here. The LSU offense is strange for sure. It's a weird kind of, so like, the Clemson game, you kind of just chalked it up. Like, okay, well, there's like 8 guys on the Clemson defense who are going to be playing in the NFL next year. So maybe we can just kind of excuse that performance. Then they had the Florida game. And Florida's a really good defensive team, not to take away anything from how bad they've been offensively and how bad they've just looked as a whole. But defensively, they're good. Florida's a good defense. But aside from that, today, that game at Ole Miss Saturday is going to be a really good opportunity for them to get on track. The way that they can probably really get Ole Miss off the field pretty quickly, tire out that defense, force a lot of 3-and-outs if they can, and it'll be a good opportunity for the LSU offense to get going. They're great at receiver, so I don't know why they haven't figured that out yet with Nuss. But they haven't been able to run the ball for a couple of years. Last year, they did not run the ball well. This year has been a struggle, but they have the guys. They have the personnel to do it. Caden Durham's very good. He's a very good running back, and offensive line, they had to replace a lot, obviously, with Will Campbell going to the NFL and 4 starters from last year. But yeah, this will be a good opportunity for that. Like, Ole Miss is not, like, I would say at this point, I would not call them like an elite defensive team. So yeah, this should be a good opportunity for LSU to get on track somewhere offensively. And I think if they if they can get this game to literally, if they score 24 points, I think that'll be enough for them to win. I would be very impressed if Trinidad Chambliss just turned around and let them up the way the LSU defense has been playing. So we'll see, but I'm going to say LSU wins 24-20.
Yeah, but I don't think Trinidad Chambliss has to like light LSU up for Ole Miss to get a win here with how LSU's offense has been playing. Like, kind of like you said, you think if LSU just to 24, they win this game. I kind of think the same way for Ole Miss here. Because, like, when you look at it, I trust the Ole Miss offense right now more than I do the LSU offense at this moment. Now, obviously, LSU's defense is better than Ole Miss's defense, but it's like it's close enough there with the defenses where I think the Ole Miss offense is, like, much better at this point, where that makes me lean with the home team. So I like Ole Miss in this one. I'm going to take Ole Miss. I'm going to go Ole Miss 27, LSU 20. Go ahead,
LSU's offense has not shown you an ability that they're going to need in this game to sustain drives.
Mm-hmm.
And like I trust, like you were saying, I trust Ole Miss's offense and the talent they have a lot more, and what they've shown that they will be able to sustain drives in this game. And I don't know what you've seen from this LSU offense where Nuss has not looked good. They can't run the ball. Like they're going to have to really quick figure out some sort of identity to sustain drives to compete in this game.
Yeah.
And I just don't know. Like, I don't know where that comes from. Like, the week of the Ole Miss game, going on the road to Oxford, if this is the time and environment that LSU's magically going to be able to flip some switch and figure that out.
It's not a get right spot for sure. But all right, so we've all given our score predictions, correct? All right, then we'll move on to the next one. Didn't want to leave anybody out. All right, so this one we got USC at Illinois. USC opens as a 6.5-point favorite. The total 60.5.
The Big Ten game of the week.
Well, here you go, Travis. Since you did that, you got the chance to open us here.
Poor Gary.
Oh my God! I mean, I apologize for my Illinois pick.
Me too.
Can we talk about the
then with Indiana?
Can we talk about the AP poll
against Indiana?
Go ahead.
Can we talk about the AP poll? Is that like I feel like that's a good jumping off point to talk about the AP poll. If you get beat by 53 points, you should not be ranked the next week ever.
No.
Like, what are we doing?
That's just
like you said in the group chat. It should be an automatic like disqualification.
Yeah.
DQ, that you're done. You're done. No playoffs, no AP poll. Like you're done. You lost by 53 points.
So this brings the question. Hold up. Go ahead, Jacob.
I was going to say, like, just because you're an SEC or Big Ten team, you shouldn't get the benefit of the doubt for losing by 53. Like,
unless you're Notre Dame.
Yeah.
This is where, like, AP basketball voters are significantly smarter than AP football voters. Like,
well, AP basketball voters just don't even watch.
Yeah. And they still are just like, oh, North Carolina got beat by Wofford? You're out.
Yeah.
It's like, we don't care. Like, that's fine. But yeah, with this, I have no idea. Like, for me, that line is not enough.
No.
The only reason that this could be close is because the time of the game is weird. And, like, USC is going
Lincoln
across the country.
About that?
Yeah, well, Lincoln and Musts should have a podcast themselves about where they complain about the ails of the Big 12 or the Big 10 having to travel and get no home crowds or whatever. But yeah, that I don't know. I've seen nothing from Illinois to be like they had like a decent second half against Duke, and now people are like, oh, watch it. But no, this like USC should
Can you have that podcast without Mick Cronin, by the way? Like,
I don't
I just
know.
need it
Yeah,
back.
that's fair. Yeah, get Cronin in there. But yeah,
The Statue of Liberty 3 times.
Yeah. Yeah. Jordan Mailata, USC's quarterback. For those of you who have not seen him, he is kind of like, he's made the same impact at USC that like Mateer's made at Oklahoma. It's very similar. Mailata actually like runs the Lincoln system. Like he plays within the system really, really well. It's very similar to what they had at Oklahoma. Like they kind of have gotten away from that a couple of years now because Caleb was so like off script all the time that they just kind of freeballed a lot. Now they're playing within a system and he's playing really good football for them. So yeah, I would say that I am so over Illinois. I was over them last year, and like if not for like 15 South Carolina opt-outs in the fucking Cheez-It Bowl, this would not be discussion. They would not be ranked. So yeah, I'm gonna say that USC kind of hands it to them like 45-21.
I think like when someone shows you who they are, believe them. And I think Illinois showed us who they are last week.
Yeah.
Like they're just not good. Like they're not a good football team. Like, and I guess that brings up my next question for like everybody here. Is Indiana just that good, or is Illinois just that bad?
I think it may be Illinois is just that bad.
Yeah.
Because like Brett Bielema, he is such an inconsistent coach. Like he has a couple good wins and then he'll lose a shocking game. Like he lost to Ryan Walters 2 years ago.
Oh my goodness, what a catch.
What a snag.
Holy.
Sorry, not to cut you off, Jacob. Go ahead.
Yeah, it's all good. But like, just like Illinois, they just stunk it up last week. And USC, honestly, I think USC is a better offense than Indiana. Like
they are.
Yeah.
Jaden Mailata should be in the Heisman race, which I don't know why he's not up in
He
that.
probably will be after this week.
Yeah. And USC, like they played Purdue 2 weeks ago. Their offense looked good.
I mean, they're top 5 in almost like every statistic, like scoring offense, passing, yards per play, like everything you look at that's like beneficial to having an elite offense. USC checks that box like they're just a like traditional Lincoln Riley offense would.
Mm-hmm.
I do have a question for Jacob. Who is the better coach, Brett Bielema or Brad Underwood?
Brad Underwood.
Really? Wow.
Yeah.
Okay. Interesting. Was not expecting that.
I like off topic. Kyler Murray stinks. Like I am so over watching him play football. Like
Yeah.
My god,
Marvin
Did you
Harrison.
guys see that sack he just took? Like
Yes.
Yeah.
Like, what is he doing?
I need I need Aqib Talib back in the booth where he's just like calling him calamari. He's like, calamari. He can't get out of the pocket. He needs to climb that pocket. Calamari needs to escape that. Keep your eyes downfield, calamari. Yeah, I'm like, okay. Enough. Yeah.
Oh my god.
That's funny. But I guess
I'm sorry. I just hijacked that. I just like it's one of those things that happen, and it's like I had to say something. Like
no, you're good,
yeah,
dude.
get us
You're
back to
completely good.
USC, Illinois. Yeah.
But yeah, back to the USC Illinois. I'm gonna go with my score prediction first. I'm gonna go. I'll say USC 42. Actually, I don't know because Indiana put up so many points. And I think USC is better offensively. Man, that's tough. I'm gonna go USC
70.
They might, bro. They might cover the total by themselves, dude. Like it might be that kind of game. I'm gonna go USC. I'm gonna go 51. I know it's less than Indiana put up, but I'm still gonna go 51. And I'm gonna go Illinois. I'll go 13. I think this is absolute blowout. I think 6.5 is covers easy. This might be the play of the week.
Give me USC 45, Illinois 14. Also, I had one thing. There was a stats guy on. He's a Purdue fan. He posts a lot of like stats on Twitter and stuff. He said there was like a stat. Any team that had a crazy loss like Illinois did last week, they all finished like 3-9, 4-8, 2, and like all terrible.
Yeah.
Like,
they might be that kind of team.
Yeah, they didn't come back from that. That's one of those type of losses you don't bounce back from easily.
I mean, their biggest win thus far is Duke, and Duke turned the ball over 6 times, and that's the only reason Illinois even Duke ran the score, or Illinois ran the score up in the fourth quarter because Duke kept just handing them the ball in plus territory, and they capitalized on that. But this is a weird road trip for USC, like we mentioned. Like, I don't think USC is just going to completely run them out of the building. Like, this is setting up to be. Like, it's a weird road trip. Like, they're at home. I'm sure Champaign isn't. What was Juice's comment about Charlottesville?
Not a magical place.
I don't know if Champaign is a magical place.
You mean Urbana and Champaign? They claim both.
Yes, that's true.
The more you know.
Yeah, I don't know if Urbana and Champaign. I'm sure there's a lot of celebration in Illinois this week after Bruce Pearl's retirement. He's not a very well liked character there.
No.
I just had to throw that in, but I don't know. I mean, it's a weird road trip. Just because Illinois got their doors blown off them last week, I don't necessarily think that replicates here, but I still think USC wins the game. I'll say like USC 35, Illinois 27.
You think it's closer?
Yeah, I think so. Like,
all right. So I gave my prediction. Jacob gave his. Travis, you gave yours. Matt, did you give yours?
No, not yet. I like USC 48-10.
Oh my God!
So another blowout. We all think it's gonna be a blowout, except for Travis. And truthfully, though, with this being a 6.5 point spread, it's probably going to go closer to Travis's score than ours. Like, that's how this is going to end up. Like, it just feels like that now. Now that I'm not going to change my prediction, but like, it feels like that's probably what's going to happen. But the next game.
That's a fair take.
What'd you say?
I think that's a fair take. I mean, it's college football. Anything can happen on any given Saturday.
It's the weirdest sport on the planet. It's the weirdest and the best sport on the planet at the same time. But this next one, if it wasn't for another game this week, this might be their game of the week. Number 17, Alabama at number 5, Georgia. Georgia is currently a 3-point favorite. The total's at 53.5. And I'll start with this one. Everything, like, I don't know. It's just hard because, like, Georgia has that 33, like, home game win streak. Alabama's like 9-1 against them in the last 10 matchups or whatever. So it's like something here has to give. And I'm not sure which way I'm leaning yet. So
how many of those included Nick Saban?
Yeah. I mean, last year, though, they beat them last year.
They had a good first half against Georgia last year, and then they did everything possible in the second. Without a Ryan Williams miracle, they probably lose that game. So,
well, Travis, you seem like you got a opinion on it, so I'll let you.
I think Georgia's going to blow their freaking doors off. I think Alabama showed that. I think Alabama showed us week 1 like what they are. Like, this is a soft football team. This is not Alabama anymore, and like they're clinging to their reputation that they built. And we saw it week 1, and everybody wants to just seem to throw week 1 in the trash can now, and like, oh, that was just like a one-off or something. Like, no, like what the quote you said earlier, what'd you say? Like, when teams show us what they are,
believe them.
Right? Yeah, believe them. And I think Alabama showed us the last time they played a real football team, like what they are.
Well, let me ask you this though, like just counterpoint for conversation wise. What if Florida State's just really good?
Well, Florida State's really good. I'm willing to bet Georgia's really good as well. So,
fair enough.
Yeah, I mean, and that's the thing. It's like I can't believe this is only a 3-point spread. like because everybody's like in like that. This is a 3-point spread because of the history of Alabama and Georgia, but the history of Alabama and Georgia, other than one great half and a great play in the fourth quarter Alabama had last year, like yeah, like that was all Nick Saban. And then you had last year's game and it was what it was, and that was in Tuscaloosa. Well, now they got to go on the road in Athens. Like that place is going to be rocking. Like they haven't beat they haven't beat Alabama. And when's the last time they beat Alabama in Athens?
Oh my gosh. Like
I don't know.
Decades. It has
It's been a while.
because the last couple times they've been there, those games were not close. They were not competitive.
I mean, you know, Kirby just has an absolute, like, has had a bullet point pin circled this game, like, whenever they first started spring practice and was like, we're going to get over this hump once and for all. And then, like, we saw the kind of team Alabama was week one, and then they got to run over a few scrubs the last couple weeks. And now they go to Athens to play Georgia. And it's like, last time when they played Florida State, was there anything Alabama showed you in that game against Florida State that you're like, yes, this is a team that can flip a switch and go on the road and beat Georgia?
Not that I'm confident about.
Nothing after the first drive of the game. Yeah.
Yeah, and it's like, like I said, it's like people are so willing because they're Alabama to just throw that week one game out because they beat up on a couple scrubs. And, well, now here we go. Like, now you got to go to Athens and prove it. Yeah, like, I think Georgia's going to mow them down in this game because whatever Florida State was able to do against Alabama, well, Georgia's going to be able to do that and then some because, I mean, and Georgia showed us what kind of team they are against Tennessee. Like, they were able to open it up with Gunner Stockton, throw it around the field, and keep up in a track meet. So, like, they proved a lot in that game that, like, this is not some stagnant offense that's going to be stuck in the mud all year and have to grind out wins. Like, no, they went to Knoxville and won a track meet against Tennessee. So, like, they showed you in that game, like, yeah, like if we need to go and play that style, we can play that style. And they still have the physicality that if they need to just run a team into the ground and beat them down, which we've already seen somebody do to Alabama once this year, we know Georgia's going to be able to do that because they're one of the most physically imposing teams in the country. So, yeah, like, the fact this is only a 3-point spread is insane to me. I feel really confident that Georgia's going to run them in this game.
Matt?
I actually think this game will be pretty close. I do think that Georgia defense is not we talk about how Bama's not Bama. I do not think this is the same Georgia defense that they fielded the last couple of years now. And
no, like, not to cut you off, but to add to your point, they're 125th in sacks per game with 0.5. They can't get after their quarterback right now.
Sound like Baylor.
Yes. Georgia and Baylor's defenses are struggling with the same things. Yes.
We're ranked at 82nd.
Baylor averages more sacks per game than Georgia. Wave the flag.
Hey, that's a good sign for when Georgia comes into Auburn in a few weeks.
Yeah.
I have to say, like, the Tennessee game was pretty concerning. Just from, there's a lot of stuff that Bama can do to replicate what Tennessee did. Obviously, there's not the Nealon factor, but I do think that there is a scenario like where Bama can win this game. I think Ty Simpson is good enough to beat that defense, and I don't know what the target score is for them necessarily, but I think it's one of those games that Bama can offensively sustain some drives, put up some points, and also the Bama defense against the run looks poor. It was horrible at Florida State. They were all over the place on defense. But I do think that, the Kalen and Grubb partnership, they will put themselves in good spots to win. I don't have, my head is telling me, Bama's probably going to beat them because offensively, I do think that they can replicate a lot of what Tennessee did, and probably play better defense on the other end. But, until Georgia loses a home game, I'm not going to be the one to pick it to happen. So,
33 games in a row is ridiculous.
We talk about, those matchups with Georgia and Bama, all those were Nick Saban. Kirby hasn't been on the other end of all those necessarily, but it's going to be really tough to beat that team at home. So I'll say they find a way to win. I'll go Georgia 27-24.
I think go ahead, Juve.
I was gonna say I'm gonna give my prediction before I have to get off here. But yeah, I think Georgia continues to win streak at home, going for 34 there. I like Georgia 30-20 or 30-20. Yeah, I like.
And they get that pass rush to Baylor levels where it can really be effective. Yeah,
1 sack a game.
Yes.
All right. See you, boys.
See you, man.
See ya.
But yeah, I think for this game, the lack of Georgia pass rush is concerning to me. Because I feel like once we've seen when Ty Simpson has had time to read the field and get the ball out, he's looked pretty good. I feel like, and Jeremy Bernard's been pretty good. He's been their leading receiver. Ryan Williams still has the talent to do things that he did last year as well. So it's hard to pick against Georgia with that 33-game home streak, but I'm going to here. Until I see something different between the Alabama and Georgia rivalry, if you want to call it that, with it being Georgia 1-9 against them in the last 10 or whatever it is, I think I got to pick Bama in this spot. Over 91% of the money is on Georgia money line. That makes me nervous, especially when Alabama's had their number the past couple of years. I don't know if you heard what I was saying, Trev, but I'm picking Bama in this one. It hurts me. I know Georgia's won 33 games at home, but I think I think Bama wins this one. I do. I'm gonna go Bama wins this one 34-31. I think it's a close and a good game, high scoring.
Where does Bama get from what they were against Florida State to a team that can beat Georgia? Where does that flip happen?
You may have to get off when I said this, the problem that concerns me with this is the lack of Georgia pass rush. And when we've seen that Ty Simpson has had time to scan the field and make plays, he's looked pretty good, I feel like. And if Georgia can't get to him and he has all day to scan and get it to Jeremy Bernard and then Ryan Williams, this isn't a traditional Georgia defense of the past. That's why if I had to pick a bet for this game, I'm taking the over in this one. I think there's going to be points. I think Gunner Stockton is good enough to make that Alabama defense pay. I think Georgia's run game will be good enough. And also, Georgia's without their right tackle, Ernest Green, for this game. I feel like that's a big deal as well. They have a banged-up O-line. And then, I don't know. It's a tough one here, but I'm going to lean Bama just as the recent history. I know Nick Saban's gone. I know Georgia's won 33 straight at home, but I'm going to pick Bama here.
I'm going 41-24 Georgia.
So blowout.
Yeah, I think Georgia's going to beat them into the ground.
Jacob?
I guess I'm gonna go Georgia 31, Alabama 24. I was leaning towards 20, but I think Alabama gets a touchdown instead of a field goal.
Okay.
I think it's close until the end. I think Georgia pulls away a little bit.
All right. Anyone else got anything to say about that one?
The Kalen DeBoer calls after Saturday are going to light up. If you thought it got nasty after that Florida State game, I think after this one, it's going to be loud.
They're going to be begging for Kurt Signetti.
Oh, my God.
Love it.
All right. Next game, we got number 6. This is probably the game of the week. Or not probably. It is the game of the week. Number 6, Oregon at number 3, Penn State.
Matt, did you not have some Penn State lunatic that you could
I
talk
have plenty. I have several. I probably couldn't get them on 2 minutes notice for what we had there, but yeah, there are several I can go to who are definitely irrational about this one.
I just want to hear the whiteout.
Well, the worst thing about most Penn State fans is they pay no attention to what else is happening in college football. They will be stunned if they just don't pay any attention to what happens in the SEC or the Big 12 or the ACC. They literally live in a bubble, and that's just who are we playing this week? Oregon? Okay, we'll beat them. They're that's the team with the cool uniforms. Yeah, we got them. Yeah, Chip Kelly's boys. Yeah, okay. Yeah,
that sounds like Tennessee fans.
Yeah. So
this
for the
is our
most
year.
part, yeah, they're very they are guaranteeing. They just are well, Oregon doesn't have Dylan Gabriel, so we win officially, and it's a whiteout. So, bing bang boom. So, yeah, they are very high. Now, there are some very rational Penn State fans who are I'm not so sure. And in fact, there are some who I know who have picked Oregon to beat them. But yeah, it's definitely the most annoying fan base in the sport that I run into, mainly because I see them on a regular basis. So yeah, they're very high on their chances to, despite having played literally no one and getting nothing out of those. They haven't looked great. They could have an LSU situation offensively with their offense themselves. They have not looked good. So yeah, that's a weird situation. But I'm very high on Oregon. I was very high on Oregon coming into the season. Very high on Dante Moore now, and I'm very high on them to beat Penn State, just because they. We've talked about with your what have you seen that'll just flip the switch? I don't know how you can go from playing FCS teams to just being yep, we're gonna beat Oregon. It's okay, so it's that simple. It's and I just don't see it. I think Oregon's better today, and I think that'll be good enough to win that game. So I am very, very high on Dante Moore. I think the Heisman calls for him will be very loud after this game. But Oregon's just a nastier, grittier team, and I just the environment is going to be the flip side is the same for Oregon. They haven't really seen that much either, or played in a tough environment as what they're about to go into. But yeah, I mean, I just think Oregon's a better team today, and I think that they're probably going to win that game. So we'll see what happens.
No, I completely agree with everything you said there. I mean, we look at it this year and people wanted to point at, Penn State's run game this year is really good and Oregon's run defense is struggling. Okay, last year in the Big Ten title, Penn State ran for almost 300 yards and still lost. And also, the stat of James Franklin being 4-20 against top 10 teams is a real thing.
That's actually not a real thing because we're including SMU and Boise State in those 4 wins. So
yeah,
it's actually worse. Yeah,
it's worse.
Yeah. So that is fraudulent.
I guess my point is he's 4-20 against top 10 teams, and then even at home he's 1-7 against top 10 teams.
And they blame Big Noon for that. They're it's Big Noon's fault. The games aren't at night. The whiteouts aren't at night. It's Big Noon's fault. Yeah.
I'm so back and forth on this game because I agree with everything you guys said about James Franklin, Oregon's the better team. Like, I agree with all of that, but he's got to win one of these games at some point, right?
Does he have
Nope.
to? What guarantees he has to? Like he could just be a really good coach who's just not in the upper echelon of the sport. That could be a reality, and that's fine.
It's like he's got to do it at some point, right?
I don't think it's Saturday.
Go ahead, Jacob.
I think this might be the one where he gets them. Like, I just think they get a home advantage. Like, it's going to be a close game either way. I think it goes
block a field
for a
goal.
change. Yeah, I think they'll make a field goal as time expires to win the game. That's what my score prediction would be. It's going to be close either way.
I don't know, man. I'm torn on this game, really. As we speak here, it's just just on a neutral site, I'm taking Oregon every time, but it's just at some point, this meter has to flip, and still this is the one. And I've long criticized Franklin for losing big games, and I agree with it, but it's just everything sets up here for Penn State for this to be the time where he finally breaks through and wins one of these things. They finally got a whiteout game at night. I don't know, man. I don't know. I don't know. Y'all keep talking because I'm still deliberating who I'm gonna pick for this thing.
I'm sticking with Oregon. I think Dante Moore is legit, and we saw it a couple years ago when Jim Knowles first got to Ohio State. There were some holes in the defense when he first got there where there was plays to be had through the passing game, I feel like. And Penn State just hired Jim Knowles. And I feel like there's a real chance that they could not be on the same page. And Dante Moore has the talent. And Will Stein is one of the best play callers in the nation to take advantage of that.
But we also saw Jim Knowles make those adjustments and pistol whip Oregon in the Rose Bowl last year.
But also, I think there's more talent on that Ohio State defense than Penn State.
Yeah, there's no Caleb Downs on the Penn State defense here. It's and the Jim Knowles scheme is super zone heavy, and I think Dante Moore is good enough that playing that much zone against him, he probably could take that apart. Depending on if Penn State can get a pass rush, and there's a scenario where Penn State could beat him, but I don't know. I just have not been particularly impressed from what based on the sample size that I've seen this season. Oregon is better than them. They have the better quarterback. They have the better. I think they have the better coaching staff. I think they have the better offense in the game, and they probably have the better prepared defense. But we'll see. That's why they play the games. I don't think Tosh Rupoy is particularly one of the better defensive coordinators of his time. Nick Saban had to fire him after Trevor Lawrence put up almost 45 in the national championship game. So,
but we also don't think Drew Aller's going to do that, do we?
Not a chance. I don't see it.
Yeah, until I see
no receivers. They have no receiver play. And the only receiver that they had last year is now a top 10 tight end in the NFL for the Colts. So
yeah,
it's they're gonna have to do it by running the ball.
Like you said last year, the only guy who was a real threat in that receiving game against Oregon was Tyler Warren, and like you said, he's gone now. So who's gonna make plays for Drew Aller to get the ball out? And even then, I'm still not a believer in Drew Aller.
Yeah, it's I'm just gonna have to see it if I'm gonna. I don't know. I just haven't seen it yet. I don't know if we're going to. And Oregon is just a better team today.
That's the theme of this show. I feel like if someone shows you who they are, believe them.
Here's I got a perfect hot take question to tee up for everybody. Did Penn State keep the wrong quarterback?
With Bo Perulla?
Yeah.
That's a fair question.
Yeah. It's possible.
It has been discussed
That's
quite
a fair
heavily.
question.
They follow Bo extensively, and Bo's homegrown. So Bo went to Central York High School, carried them, played in a state championship game. So they got crushed in said game, but ironically by Kyle McCord and Marvin Harrison Jr. But yeah, so Bo's like a homegrown talent. They really, really liked him here, and they really wanted it to work here. So they embraced him pretty heavily, probably more than they have embraced Aller. So there were a lot of people who were pretty disappointed when he went to Missouri. So I mean, it's Missouri's firing on all cylinders here. They they took it to South Carolina, and yeah, I mean, Bo's like, it remains to be seen if Bo's a better passer than Drew Aller, because that's probably why they kept Drew Aller. But yeah, there were a lot of people last year who were like, just have Aller go to the NFL and keep Bo. So yeah, we'll see. But it's a very, very controversial topic of discussion amongst the Penn State fans.
Before I make, go ahead, Jacob.
I was gonna say, what's crazy to me is Aller hasn't lived up to the hype, like the potential as like a freshman. Like he showed a lot of flashes as like a freshman, and just has not improved the way you would want him to if you're Penn State.
Yeah, and he is. I mean, people compare him. They're like, oh, he's just like Josh Allen because he's got the same height and weight measurables and he's athletic. But I don't know, like Josh Allen was not good when he entered the NFL, and he was not good in college. So I'm not sure that's the best comparison you want to be making for a college player. But yeah, he's got all the tools type of thing, but yeah, he just doesn't seem to be quite there yet. So yeah, he's showed upside, and the upside was never the issue. The athleticism was never the issue. And he might be decent, but they just don't have anyone for him to get the ball to either. So it's kind of a double-edged sword. Like he's not necessarily developed enough as a passer, and they don't have really any talent on the perimeter for him to get the ball to, besides the running backs. So that's kind of all he has.
But yeah, that's definitely a good question, Travis, and one to have further debate on that.
Before I make a pick here, I don't know if one has because this will influence my pick a lot. Has James Franklin said anything disrespectful to Oregon or Dan Lanning this week?
James Franklin has said some things disrespectful about Big Noon. He has blamed the results of the last couple of years on like, oh, well, we had to play Ohio State at noon. We had to play Michigan at noon. So it wasn't the same. So
I do think there's some validity to that, by the way. I just want to say I'm not saying the results but I think the environment at night is a lot different. I mean, we talked about it with Utah and Texas Tech last week, and we saw how that ended up. Where like there is something.
I have been to both. So I've been to one, in the middle of the day, and I've been to one at night, and it is totally different. The atmosphere is totally different at night than it is at noon, at 3 o'clock, whatever it might be. So, yeah, it's definitely very different atmosphere. Does that mean that Ohio State, you had to like run the same stupid play 4 times on the goal line last year? And Michigan, like Blake Corum ran the ball down your throat like the year before? Like, I don't think that had anything to do with the time of the game, but yeah, it's definitely very, very different. The atmosphere is different than it is night during the day. So yeah, there's definitely some validity to that.
Yeah, I guess we'll make our score predictions for this one. Then we'll get into one last game, which is probably the weirdest game of the week, and maybe not the best game, but like one that's really interesting, I think. So we'll start with our score predictions. Matt, have you made yours yet?
I think I'm going to go. I'm going to say Oregon wins. Oregon wins closely. I'm going to say 21-17.
Okay, Travis.
I'm gonna do it, and I'm gonna hate myself for doing it. I think Penn State finds a way to win one of these games finally. I'll go 24-21 Penn State.
Jacob.
I guess I'm going to go Penn State 31, Oregon 28.
I can't do it, man.
I don't know. I was
Go
going to
ahead.
say, just with my pick, Dante Moore, he's been a surprise this year, but I just think he's due to come back down a little bit because, like, I don't know if he's like an insane talent. He's good, but he's not. I wouldn't consider him like my Heisman front runner right now or anything like that.
I mean, he's probably top 5 in the discussion now. In the race,
Yeah,
at least.
he is.
But, man, until I see it with James Franklin, I'm going to go Oregon here. I think this is a close one. I think you just have to go with like the trend of just James Franklin not be able to beat top 10 teams. And then also the top 5 stat. Like Oregon's not top 5. They're 6th in the nation, but they might as well be. Like they
bumped them down one spot for no reason to save James Franklin's top 5 record.
I'm gonna go Oregon 27, Penn State 24. I think this is a close one. I think Oregon wins.
I do love that they moved Oregon down one spot in the rankings. Just like if Penn State does win this game, you'd be like, nope, wasn't a top 5 team, James.
He's good.
Nope.
Yeah.
You're good, man. But
I'm gonna hate myself for making that pick, but I'm just like, I don't know. It's got to happen at some point. Like,
see, I had the same
State
thought
also,
process. I understand where you're coming from. Like, you're not crazy for that, Travis.
What were you saying, Matt?
They docked Penn State and moved them down a spot also to make room for Miami.
Just by the way, we gotta mention Miami's the best team in the country right now. Like, is that?
I would say so.
I mean,
yeah, I think they are.
Yeah.
I mean,
holy shit! Like, this is not the Miami we're used to.
Yeah, Mario's got them going.
Yeah, they're rolling, but it's like, how consistent, like, will that stay the whole way the entire year, or will they fizzle out at the end?
Well, we will find out soon enough.
Yeah.
They play Florida State in 2 weeks.
They actually play defense now. That's the difference.
Yeah.
Yes.
Like, they were in an absolute slobber knocker with Florida on Saturday, and they just put their foot on Florida's throat in the fourth quarter.
And I love how, like, Billy Napier's now, like, just daring Florida to – he's still calling the plays. And he's basically like, pay my buyout. Like, I'm staying. So, yeah, they're better places to be than the head coach of Florida right now.
Yeah. But we've all given our score predictions, correct?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. This last game, this one might be the most intriguing game of the week. It's not the best game, but Ohio State at Washington. Ohio State's only an 8.5-point favorite. Like, does that feel like that's not enough points, or is that like a rat line? What do y'all think?
No, I think that is. I actually think that's appropriately rated there for a Bruins. So we talk about we talk about Georgia having a really long winning streak, number 1 in the country. Washington's got the second longest. They got the second longest home winning streak in the country. That is the first like real road environment that Ohio State go to. And Washington's actually like they've scored a shit ton of points. They haven't really played anyone. No disrespect to Washington State. But that is a rivalry game, and that game has gotten really weird over the years. So I would say that Washington is probably worthy of being 25. They haven't gotten any votes from the AP, but they should be in the top 25. Their quarterback, or their running back rather, Jonah Coleman, he's like an NFL running back right now, playing for Washington. So, and they can score. Like, they can score with literally anyone. I don't know if they have the horses to keep up with Ohio State for a complete game, but Yeah, I would say that game is going to be close, like close-ish. There will be points in that game where, like, I think that Washington will look as if they're either in the game or they're going to be positioned in the middle to win. But no, I think that line is probably where it should be. And Ohio State was not like great when they played Ohio either. So yeah, I would say that Washington probably makes that a game. Like that will be a watchable game all the way for both teams. So yeah, I think that line is probably proper. I would say that's a proper line. That Washington's a really good team. I don't think they're like a great team yet per se, but yeah, I could see them giving Ohio State fits. So should be a game.
Yeah, Trav.
Yeah, I agree with what Matt said there. I mean, it's a tough road trip. It's a tough place to play. I think Washington's a formidable team, like middle of the road team in the Big Ten probably, and yeah, like they're gonna have an advantage when they're playing at home. And I mean, like we haven't really like Ohio State hasn't really jumped off the page to you at any point this year. I mean, they beat Texas at home in a grinder of a game that really could have gone either way. And then, like Matt said, I mean, I did watch some of that Ohio game, and like they like Ohio hung around with them for a half.
They did,
like,
yes. It was close.
It was like 14. It was like 14-9 at halftime.
Mm-hmm.
Like it was a real game. So yeah, like I don't think this is a spot where Ohio State's gonna go on the road and beat Washington down by any means. Like Washington's gonna hang around in this game.
Jacob.
I mean, it could be a close one. I mean, especially when you consider how far Ohio State's traveling, and they have a true freshman starting at QB, and Julian Saying. So
in his first road game.
Yeah, first road game
Yeah.
in traveling out west. Like it's not just you're traveling to Iowa or something, you know, or Nebraska or somewhere. It's closer in elevation to Ohio, you know. It's out there basically in the Rocky Mountains in Washington. And you just kind of that.
Well, it's on the water. They got the sailgating going on that the
Yeah.
Big Ten fans are just learning about.
Yeah.
That's why I hate that conference so much. They're like, they do what? No way. Like, what are we doing?
But no, yeah, like when I saw this line, like I love Washington here in this spot. Like I don't think they win, but I think they did hang around. Like Matt, kind of like you said, like Jonah Coleman's like a future NFL guy, and like also like we didn't talk about him really any here, but like Desmond Williams Jr. Damon Williams Jr. Like he's a really good quarterback for them. Like he's a guy. Like I feel like he could make some plays here, and like Washington to hang around here. Like I like the Huskies and the 8.5 this week. Like that's one of my favorite plays this week. But I guess we're doing our score predictions now. Matt, you started this, so you want to start with your score prediction?
Yeah, I'm gonna say 40-34 that Ohio State wins.
Travis.
I'm thinking the opposite direction this game goes than Matt. Like, I think we've seen what that, like, I think the Ohio State defense is going to carry them this game, and they'll be able to keep Washington at arm's length, but Washington will hang around. Give me 21-13, Ohio State.
Jacob.
Give me Ohio State 28-21 over Washington.
See, I was thinking kind of like more in line with you, Travis. Like whenever I like thought of like my score prediction, I was like, give me Ohio State like 20-13 or 20-14, something along that range, like a lower scoring game, but one that's like, you know, within a one score, like a one possession game, like one that you're like, wow, Washington really made this thing interesting and had some chances here to win the thing. Like, I think Ohio State's going to win, but Washington can make this interesting for sure. But before we get off, I feel like we got to talk about it.
Are we not going to do Auburn A&M?
Yeah.
Oh, we didn't do that, did we?
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, that's on me. Hand up. As the Auburn guy, like one of the Auburn guys, we should.
That's what I was wondering. I was like, we're just not doing
We
it.
skipped it. Somehow, I mean, I thought we talked about it in the beginning with the referee thing. I think in my mind, I kind of was like, all right, we did our Auburn talk of the day. But yeah, thank you. I completely just whiffed on that one. Obviously, Auburn goes on the road after the Oklahoma game. This is a big spot for them, obviously. Whatever. I'm mad about it still. Anyway, Texas A&M is a 6.5-point favorite. The total, this one's 52.5. Travis, I'll let you start with this one.
Well, I'm still really not a believer in Marcel Reed, and which is a big part of what I think could work in Auburn's favor in this game is that I think Auburn's biggest hole right now is in the secondary and giving up big plays over the top. But yeah, I mean, obviously they had the great performance against Notre Dame, but I don't know. I think if Auburn can get a pass rush and get after Marcel Reed here and just not give up big plays, Auburn's going to hang around in this game. And yeah, I think that's the biggest thing because, Marcel Reed's going to, if you the way he's going to try to beat you is with his legs and with the explosives. And I think Auburn has a good enough pass rush to kind of give him hell and, give him problems with that and not put them in a position to give up those big plays. So I like that. I think, I mean, we saw Notre Dame scored 40 points on A&M. And so, I mean, I think with what we've seen from Auburn's offense, that A&M defense is also not some juggernaut that you can't move the ball on. And I think Auburn showed some capability, obviously, against Baylor in their ability to run the ball. And then I don't think A&M has a defense from what we saw against Notre Dame that's they haven't shown an ability to just completely wreck a game. Yeah. And I mean, they have the talent to do it for sure, but they showed in that game, you can move the ball on them. You can get they're going to give up some big plays. And I think Auburn can take advantage of that. I don't know. I think Auburn's going to be pissed off coming into this game after what happened with Oklahoma. I don't know. I know my bias is coming in here, but I think this is really a spot where Auburn's going to come in after that game against Oklahoma and how it went, and Auburn's going to be competitive here. No. Yeah, I don't know. I know that wasn't the best analysis of the game, but I don't know. I think my bias is getting in the way here of how I'm thinking about this game, but I don't know. I'm really coming into this thing thinking Auburn's going to be competitive, and I'm not sold on everything I've seen from A&M yet.
Yeah, you kind of touched on it for a second there. The weakness of this Auburn team is its secondary. It's let up explosive plays this year, and it's been a liability on the defense. Is there a better wide receiver duo right now with how they're playing than Mario Craver and Casey Concepcion? It scares me. How are we going to guard those guys? I have legit questions about that. And while Marcel Reed may not be this world beater quarterback, they still have two stud wide receivers. And when it's styles make fights, Auburn secondary has been a struggle all year. And then you have Mario Craver and Casey Concepcion. I think that's the difference right there. And also, Jackson Arnold had a rough time last week. He held onto the ball too long. This is not a spot where all right, Jackson Arnold can get right here. You're going to Kyle Field. And while Texas A&M's defense hasn't been elite by any means, it's still a talented unit led by Mike Elko. This worries me here as an Auburn fan. I don't like us in this spot personally. Matt, you got anything?
Yeah, it's tough. I think A&M wins, Auburn covers. That's kind of where I'm leaning now.
Yeah.
I don't think Marcel Reed is a world-beating quarterback, but it's it's hard to game plan for him, and especially threat of him running, and then combined with the receivers, like you said, it's a tough ask. And you just kind of wonder, like, with Auburn here soon, I don't know if that's a game there. You can't really look ahead of A&M, but I don't know if that's a game that they're kind of looking ahead to, because that's just a huge deal to that program. So, I would probably say that A&M wins the game really close, but Auburn covers, and it kind of turns into a who's got the ball last kind of scenario. But it's just hard. It's hard to fix that stuff with Jackson Arnold, the timing issues in a week's time. And, they certainly have the receiver talent to make things even, to get the ball out quicker. Yeah. But, a lot of that for him, some of those timing issues, that's going to take a bit of time. And I don't know if A&M's the team that they're just going to settle into that with. So we'll see. But I think it'll be really close. And I think Auburn covers, but A&M wins in a close one by a field goal.
Auburn's going to have to run the ball in this game, because, like, if you end up in the same scenario last week where you give up 10 sacks with Cassius Howell and that defensive front, like, A&M could easily just wreck Auburn up front and be in Jackson Arnold's grill this whole game, and it's our problem. And it's like the way you counteract that is you're just going to have to run the ball and control the game. And, like, if they're expecting Jackson Arnold to sit in the pocket and, hit plays downfield, and you're not just going to fix that in a week against this A&M defensive front. Like, they're going to have to just run the ball. And I don't know. I'm trying to convince myself how Auburn can win this game. So
the path to an Auburn win is running the ball, because Oklahoma is a much better run defense unit than Texas A&M is to this point. Yeah. So I feel like if Auburn is going to win the game here, it's going to be with running the ball and keeping, KC Concepcion and Mario Craver on the sideline and limiting their possession and dominating the time of possession here, because Jackson Arnold does have legs. Jeremiah Cobb second in SEC in rushing yards. You got to use him. Damari Alston as well can make some plays. So it's
Notre Dame was able to run the ball on A&M.
They also do have Jeremiah Love, who's one of the better backs in the nation.
Yeah.
So it's like Auburn does have a good RB room. I like the O-line we have too as well. So it's like if we're going to win this game, we're going to have to dominate the time possession here and run the ball. Similar to the Baylor game where we just ran the ball and they could not stop it. So that's going to be the path for Auburn wins this year, is dominating time possession, running the ball, and not letting, the other team have the ball as much, especially this upcoming Saturday versus A&M. So I think that's the path for an Auburn win, is just, running the ball and keeping their offense off the field. Jacob, you got anything?
I think I'm going to lean A&M in this game, but I think Auburn puts up a lot of points. I think it's going to be a close one. I think A&M wins 38-31.
Okay, so we're going to score. All right, Trav, you got a score prediction?
I'm going to go Auburn 23-20.
Okay, Matt?
I am going to say A&M wins 27-24.
I'm going to go – it pains me, but, I think we lose 2 in a row. I'm going to go A&M 31, Auburn 27. I think we hang around there. I think we can score on this defense, especially with our run game. But I think just Mario Craver and KC Concepcion, that's too much for our defense, I feel like. And that's a big ask, especially also that's a big ask for the secondary. And also Jackson Arnold just, snap out of that last week performance to Oklahoma on the road at A&M. That's not an easy spot to be put in. So I think
our pass rush is just going to – I mean, we got the guys to do it.
On paper, we have the talent for sure.
That's going to be the way to win it, is because we know Marcel Reed struggles with the short intermediate stuff. That's where he's unproven. And it's if we can get a good pass rush and give him problems and just don't give him the opportunity to hit that stuff downfield and make him beat you short, then that's where we haven't Marcel Reed hasn't shown an ability to do that yet. And that's the thing is Auburn does have the pass rushers to make that, a possibility. So,
and to add to your point, Travis, we saw against Notre Dame when they got after him, he made some bad decisions that were just dropped Like, he threw some interceptable balls that like just were dropped by the Notre Dame defense. And if Auburn can make those like turnovers and get the turnover margin, either like even one turnover, and especially if it's 2 turnovers, that's the path to an Auburn victory right there, as well as turning over Marcel Reed. Just like you said, he's a great athlete. He's good with the deep ball, but he struggles in that short to like intermediate passing area. So if we can get him to like, if we can heat him up and get some turnovers there, that's gonna be a big spot. That's gonna be like a big part of the game right there. But yeah, that's all I got for that one. So I think we've covered most of the game. So I think, we got to touch on the Mike Gundy situation. Out after 21 years at Oklahoma State. He's just gone. What are y'all's thoughts?
It kind of like, what surprises me is like he built that program. They should have been playing for a national championship in 2011. If you go through the history of Gundy there, like 2011, they had a national championship staring them in the face and inexplicably lost on a Thursday night to Iowa State. And they had multiple other opportunities to make the playoff. Like he established a great program there at Oklahoma State, and the way it's just kind of imploded the last couple years. And just hearing how bad it was at the end with Gundy and the administration there is the surprising part to me. That it could get to a point with a guy who built up so much goodwill over the years there. And Jacob, are you okay?
Yeah, I'm okay.
Oh, it's like you were like struggling to breathe there for a second.
No,
I don't know if it's.
I was up in my chair.
Oh.
Gundy, talk about Gundy, really gets him.
Yeah, I just you can't believe it's like Mike Gundy is Oklahoma State football. Like, he built that program, since the Barry Sanders days. It's like they were nothing, and he was like an Oklahoma State guy and took them from the dredges to a national contender. And like I said, 2011's like where you really look back, and it's like they should have, I know that pains you as an LSU fan, Matt, because if Oklahoma State takes care of business against Iowa State on that Thursday night in 2011, you're looking at Oklahoma State and LSU playing for a national championship, and instead open the door for Alabama to get there. But yeah, for how a homegrown guy who took that program from the dumps to a prominent national contender, and just how it fell apart and got so bad so quick there, where they almost made the playoff 3 years ago. Yep. When they got stopped on the goal line in the Big 12 championship game, and then 3 years later, they're just in the dredges again, and how it imploded so quick. And it was so bad with him in the administration there, where it's you usually see when it's a homegrown guy like that and it kind of hits the end, they get to walk away, and it's a mutual parting of ways, and you try to protect the reputation on the way out. But the way it's just shit canned mid-season, not even mid-season, early season, they got him out of there, and they didn't make any bones about it. Yeah, you usually a lot of times in those situations, it's a mutual parting of ways.
It wasn't
situation. No, this was they made it clear. They fired him. They were done with Gundy. So I would just love to hear more of the inner workings there in the next few weeks of just how it got this bad and things imploded this quickly with him at Oklahoma State.
I hope it comes out, because like you said, he was there for 21 years, made them from nothing to nationally relevant, and then not even, 4 weeks into the year, they're like, all right, we're done with you, bro. After 21 years of goodwill, I got to know what happened. There had to be something massive that we can't, the public has not seen yet, that was just jaw dropping behind the scenes. Obviously they were losing games, but it feels like it's more than that.
And part of the story with Gundy, sorry, Jacob, I'll let you get in a second, my bad. But I was saying part of the story with Gundy at Oklahoma State is he turned down a lot of big jobs over the years to stay there.
Yeah, turned
he
down
was
Arkansas
loyal
when Bobby Petrino got the job.
He turned down Arkansas. He turned down LSU when Orgeron got the job. I think he turned down Texas, I'm pretty sure, when Charlie Strong got the job. I'm pretty sure Gundy was a candidate for Texas then. Yeah, I mean, he's turned down a lot of big jobs over the years to stay loyal to Oklahoma State. And that's kind of part of like what makes this so crazy is he was just such a loyal soldier to them for so long. And then the way things just imploded there. But go ahead, Jacob. I'm sorry I jumped over you there.
I was gonna say he was about to get fired last offseason before he changed his staff. Like they were pretty close to being done. He must have just not done anything in the offseason, like put effort in at all. Like, and the team coming out like they have the first 3 or 4 games 3 games. But I think that was probably the final straw. And losing to Tulsa was the straw that broke the camel's back. I know Gundy's just not been he's not been involved with adapted to the NIL culture.
They also just don't have the money. Like that's part of it too. And I think that was part of his frustration is that he didn't feel like there was an effort from the boosters and the administration there to give him the money and resources that he needed to compete in this era.
They took out of his contract, like they lowered his contract to put towards NIL and stuff, right? And then they didn't do that. Like they put it towards something else, I'm pretty sure. Like I heard something about that today.
Yeah, it's tough because like when you really need to kind of like understand the history of what their program was. Their program was actually pretty decent before he got there. Like you got to remember, Jimmy Johnson was at Oklahoma State before he went to Miami in the 80s. And then Les Miles was the coach before Gundy, before he went to LSU. Yeah. So they were like in the national spotlight, but Gundy just took them to a totally different level. Like Oklahoma would walk them like yearly all the time. And then when Gundy got there, it like the Bedlam game actually became a real rivalry game. Quarterback play there was always good under him. They always had receivers. They always had talent at the skill positions. Had decent corners over the years. And it was just like a really like that stadium. Fans are like right there on top of you more so than some other stadiums. That became like a really hard place to play. And it was really like all because of him. Like, as you said, he is Oklahoma State football. It got really difficult, though, I think, for a variety of reasons. As you'd said, Jacob, the staff hires had kind of gone stale over the years. And I think that kind of rubbed some people in their administration the wrong way. And then just the transitioning culture of where the sport is now versus where it was 5 years ago. And I think, Oklahoma State as a whole, like their athletic department has not really caught up to this. Basketball, they're not even close. And the Big 12 is more of a gauntlet in basketball than it is in football. And they're not putting forth any resources to compete in the, revenue sports that they have at the university. So they're really struggling. And I don't think that Gundy was the guy that they saw wanting to lead that program in the future. And it must have been a tough decision because of how much he's meant to that school. But I think that it's going to be one of those situations that Oklahoma State will probably be better off if they get a coach where they feel as if they believe in the vision and they can start pouring resources into that program. But
it sounds like it's going to be Zach Robinson.
Yeah, that's what
I was just about to say. I think Zach Robinson's the front runner, right?
And I think Zach Robinson would be a really, really good hire for them. He's hugely someone who has shown in the past, like he's an analytical guy, and he's does not use Bijan Robinson nearly enough, but they I think could do much worse than him. He obviously was one of Gundy's quarterbacks, and I think that'd be a really cool fit if he were to take that job. But I mean, before I could take the interview, I would need to know, like, what are we looking at here as far as, like, allocation of resources? Like, am I going to be able to build a team? Like, am I going to have money to, what Texas Tech has done, just like building a college football playoff contending team in one
Overnight.
offseason because they were willing to
Spend.
put $20 million into that team. Like, is that realistic at Oklahoma State? And right now, the answer is a
No.
resounding no. But yeah, I think Gundy just was not the guy they wanted in the future, and they felt that he was outdated as a coach. And I think it just got to a point where it was too ugly. They were terrible last year. Recruiting is really, really hurting. And yeah, I mean that I actually think it wasn't the Tulsa game. I think it was the Oregon game that actually was what got them to kind of force their hand and be like, yeah, this isn't going to work. Like, you humiliated us in the media before the game, and then you go out and get humiliated on the field. And Oregon could have put up 100 if they wanted to, and that game's in the 60s by third quarter. So like, I think that was what ultimately made the decision for them. That like
It was the nail in the coffin.
Yeah, and he's talking about the lack of resources he has before that game, and I think that was what ultimately the final straw for them.
I'm looking forward to flipping on Hannity in a couple months and seeing Bruce Pearl and Mike Gundy on the panel. Like, that's going to be great television.
Yes, I'm definitely here for that.
I think
so. Yeah.
One thing, like, just thinking about all the retirements in like college basketball here recently due to NIL stuff, I feel like this is kind of the same way with Mike Gundy, except Mike Gundy's was a firing. It's kind of like Tony Bennett at Virginia would be my comparison, because Tony Bennett, I mean, obviously Mike Gundy didn't win a championship, but at a program that's kind of like mid-size, doesn't really have a huge amount of resources, but have a very passionate fan base, and just kind of had him as a consistent winner, but it just fallen off those past couple years.
I mean, yeah, it's crazy. You might be in a situation where 5 years from now, like, younger fans will be like, how was Oklahoma State like on the doorstep of playing for national championship multiple years? Just one of those things that it's going to be hard. Like, similarly, how we talk about like Michigan State football or Wisconsin football, and how those programs were like right there on the national stage. You might be, seeing people say the same, like they might be heading in the same direction, those programs. And the fact that they were competing for national championships, I don't know if
it's the same with people our age, where like you hear about like Nebraska. You're like, what?
Yeah.
Like it's unfathomable.
Yeah. Like you just can't see it.
Yeah. But I mean, and it's crazy because like, I know we were going to talk about Dabo too, but I feel like there's a lot of similarities between those two situations, and I think Clemson's heading in the same direction under Dabo for that Gundy, and like you can do the analogies, like they're both homegrown guys, and like they're both seems like they're suffering the same fate. Dabo seems like it's more by choice and stubbornness, whereas Gundy seems like he didn't have. I don't think it was choice and stubbornness with Gundy. I just think they didn't have the money and the resources. Whereas with Dabo, it seems like he's just choosing to dig his own grave there at Clemson.
He's just like, I'm either gonna do it my way or no way, regardless of what happens.
Yeah, but I mean, I do think there's similarities in those two situations.
The vibes are similar. Yeah, I see what you're saying.
I mean, you're the host. But you want to talk about the Dabo stuff before?
Yeah, we can. Yeah, before we wrap up, we talk about the Dabo stuff. I mean, like, it feels like every week that goes by, it's just like I don't know if he's on the way out, but his just good graces just lessen every week as they go by. Like, and
I said before we came on here, like that's two sides. Like they're heading for a divorce. Like it's gonna come. Like I would be surprised at this point if Dabo's still the coach at Clemson next year. Like it feels like the analogy I made before we started is it feels like a Cal Kentucky situation where it's like like they can't fire him. Like the buyout's insane. Like, he basically has a lifetime contract. Did they give Dabo a lifetime deal, or
he for all intents and purposes has one financially. They're going to have to wait years before they can contemplate getting the money together to get rid of him.
Yeah, and that's what. But I feel like it's a situation like Cal at Kentucky where it's going to get like he's lashing out at the fans, he's lashing out at the administration, he's lashing out at the media. Like they're not winning games, and he's just like digging his heels in and going after everybody. And it's like it's similar to what we saw with the end of Cal at Kentucky, where it's like, yeah, the administration can't fire him feasibly. Like it's not gonna like. They're not in a position they can do that, but like I feel, but there's gonna be a program somewhere, like a Virginia Tech or somebody that's just like what happened with Arkansas and Cal, where there's a program out there somewhere, whether it's Virginia Tech, Florida, like one of these jobs that's getting ready to come open.
Ironically, Arkansas,
yeah, like where they're gonna like. There's a program somewhere that would love to have Dabo Swinney. And
they would crawl over, broken glass to have his head coach.
Yeah, and that's what that's the same thing that happened with Arkansas and Cal, where like Kentucky couldn't fire him, but there was a lot of tension there with the administration, and then Arkansas basically like showed up with a pile of money and it was like, why don't you come here? Like, we would love to have you. Yeah. And like I think that's the same situation I think it's going to happen with Dabo, where you might look at it on the surface and think it's going to be a lesser job than Clemson, but like a school like a Virginia Tech or Florida, Arkansas, whoever is going to like beg Dabo to come and be like, oh, we would be more than happy to have you. And like that blow up with Clemson's going to reach a boiling point where like, yeah, I think Dabo will leave Clemson for a new job in the offseason.
Okay, well, so that brings up the point of who's the new Clemson head coach next year then? Arbuckle?
I don't even know enough right now to give a definitive answer to that. Like, I think it would have to be somebody with ties.
Yeah, but like, who is? I don't know about ties, but there's guys like Fran Brown of Syracuse who could be someone. Will Stein, Arbuckle, Glenn Schumann, like guys like that who are these like coordinators who are some of the
Shannon
best.
Dawson at Miami.
Yeah.
I don't see any scenario Dabo gets fired. I don't think it's possible, and I don't see any scenario where he leaves. I think he has left a much bigger mark on Clemson than what Gundy has left on Oklahoma State. Like,
sure.
I think it's only different between Cal and Dabo in the sense that, like, the expectations of the Kentucky fans versus the expectations of the Clemson fans, I think, are very, very different. I think he's brought up a ton of equity in the Clemson.
But the Clemson fans have those expectations now. Because like that fan base is turning on him.
And like I feel like if you ask Dabo, he still has those expectations. Am I wrong to say that?
Yeah, that's why I say
those expectations, but it's not as deeply rooted over decades of like built up how they were like, oh well, we competed and won in the 40s and the 50s and the 60s and and I think it's different. It's much more like modern now, but they also like understand that everything they have is because of what he's built as the coach. And I think like unlike what Cal had, like Dabo's Clemson is theirs and like it's truly unique to them, and it's not they cannot build what they had under him with another coach. And I just don't see, like, I think that Clemson is a big time destination because of Dabo. Like, I don't think that job is going to attract, like,
he made it an attractive job.
Yeah, like, I don't see anyone really leaving where they're at to go take the Clemson job.
Probably like a Tony Elliott, like somebody who's
like
been there
in
before,
his shadow. And the way they built. that program over time and the way they've recruited. And like, I think all it takes is for someone to be like, hey, like, you need to, like, I understand your values and what they are, and that's fantastic, but like, they need like a much higher, like, someone to work in lockstep with him in terms of, where they're putting their money, and primarily transfer portal. I know they've done it now this last year, but like, his principles are solid. Like, he's on solid ground with, and they've recruited really well despite that. Their team is stacked. I think the first thing I would do, I still think he's got a couple moves. Like, he can still say, like, yeah, Garrett Riley, you're fired, and be like, I'm going to bring in a new offensive coordinator to see about making that work. Like, he still has moves to play. Like, I think if he like fires both coordinators or something and they still are really bad, then that would be when you kind of get concerned. But
he's a dinosaur. That's the thing. Like, he has not adapted to this era of college football and college sports, and it's like, well, he had a talented enough roster with NFL talent on it this year, and we see where this year is going. And it's like, is he like, you can't build a team the way he has built these Clemson teams over the years anymore and it be successful. And it's like, now next year, like, they're losing this team. This is the team that was supposed to go be competitive, and like, this team is gone. Like,
this is the one he had circled.
I mean, it's tough because like, you can build it that way and you can't, because they have, and you just have to do like both, like the way he wants to build his team and the rest of it you build through portal, transfers, that kind of thing. And I think they had the team this year, but for, one reason or another, it just hasn't worked. And I mean, he will probably, that would probably be the move that I would expect before him leaving in the offseason, is that Garrett Riley would be out and they bring in somebody else to run the offense and go from there. But no, I like, Dabo is too much of an institution for them to ever move on from. Like, I still think at the end of the day, they have to realize, like, we're Clemson, we're in the ACC. We're not printing money like if we're an SEC school, and this is kind of what they are right now. And they made the college football playoff last year. They won the ACC. So I still think, I don't think it's just like abruptly just going to be like, well, yeah, like, we're done. Like, I would say there's a scenario where like Georgia Tech is really, really good and they only lose one game in the regular season to Georgia probably, and then they play for the ACC championship. And there's a scenario where LSU is really, really good, and they were in and could have won both of those games.
Is there a scenario where Syracuse is really, really good too?
No, there's not. But I mean, like, that's kind of where the frustration is. Like, if Georgia Tech's 11-1 and LSU's undefeated or something, and you are in both of those games with a chance to win and you didn't, and then you show so poorly against someone you should just destroy. Yeah, I would say there's quite a bit of, frustration with the head coach, rightly, but those teams were really good when they obviously were stacked with talent. They had good quarterback play, and the staff around them was really strong. I think people really underrate losing Venables really set that program. He was the assistant head coach, ran the defense, really recruited well for them. And losing him to Oklahoma, they haven't been the same on that side of the ball. They've obviously cycled through offensive coordinators over the years, and then, it's gotten to Garrett Riley, and it's kind of stalled some. But, yeah, I still think, I wouldn't totally panic on Dabo yet, and I think he's probably going to be the coach there until he decides to retire.
I did have one comment. I think it's possible if Dabo were to leave, that Brent Venables leaves Oklahoma to go back.
No, there's no way.
He's been so-so Oklahoma.
He has
I
been
mean, he
so-so.
just-
You're definitely correct on that, but he's like an Oklahoma guy first and foremost. Like he was the defensive coordinator for Bob Stoops for years. They won a national championship there at Oklahoma when he was running their defense. So that was the only reason he went back. I think that he turned down head coaching jobs for years at Clemson, and he only took the Oklahoma head job because of what it was and what it meant to him. So I don't think he would ever willingly leave Oklahoma unless, they were tired of him, which, this year was kind of make or break for him. And so far it's been really promising. So we'll see.
I'm about to say, if he got fired, I could see what Jacob's saying, but I'd be stunned.
Don't think he's willing to leave Oklahoma for Clemson. But
yeah,
who knows?
I think Tony Elliott would be the more likely outcome there.
Is anyone Gus Malzahn?
I'm here for it.
Would be funny.
Gus to Arkansas is the one that I'm ready for. Because
That
he's got
feels
those
like
Arkansas ties, and I'm ready for
There was
that one.
always that talk when he was at Auburn of like, he might go to Arkansas. He might go.
I mean,
like,
he was going to Arkansas before the 2017 Iron Bowl, and then Auburn gave him that extent. If Auburn doesn't win that 2017 Iron Bowl, he was the Arkansas coach on Monday.
Yeah,
I feel very comfortable saying that Joey McGuire or Gus will be coach at Arkansas next year.
Gruden.
I'm about to say John Gruden.
I'm here for Gruden also.
I'd love to see John
Pig
Gruden in the SEC.
Sean. Yeah, Woo Pig. That's what we're about here at Arkansas. We're hogs. Yeah.
But before we wrap up, does anyone else have anything? Is there anything I missed?
The only other thing that I'm curious of your thoughts on are: do we give Arkansas and Mississippi State any chance? Arkansas is hosting Notre Dame, and Mississippi State's hosting Tennessee.
I think Arkansas has a real chance. Like, I think this is going to be some points in this game. I think they have a chance to keep it close with Notre Dame. Because what's the spread like? -4?
It's up to 2.5.
It's 2.5 right now.
Plus 2.5 to Arkansas.
It all just depends on how Taylor Green plays. If he turns the ball over like he did against Memphis, then they won't win. If he plays perfect, I think they beat Notre Dame.
I was about to say, Arkansas did a masterclass in throwing that game against Memphis away last week.
Yeah. See, I think Arkansas can hang around here. Like, if it stays within that 4.5, I just looked on DraftKings right now. They have it at 4.5. Like, I think Arkansas can make this game interesting. But my favorite play in this game is the over. Like, I don't like Notre Dame's defense. I don't like Arkansas's defense. I think Notre Dame will score. I think Arkansas will score. I love the over in this one. Like, that's one of my favorite plays this week. So I think
Notre Dame's going to take care of business, but I do think Mississippi State is better than people think. I think they'll hang around with Tennessee.
Yeah.
I mean, they beat Arizona State straight up.
Yes, and it's Starkville. So
it's an
they're a sleepy 4-0 right now.
Yeah, yes. No one's talking about them. Jeff Lebby has them rolling. They're playing some
big
good
fan
ball.
of what they've done. So I wouldn't be. I mean, I expect both those games close, but
just like Notre Dame's like a 4-point favorite or something like that, and like Tennessee's like a 7-point favorite. Like they're not huge spreads by any means. But yeah, to answer both, yes, I think both teams can make things interesting and hang around. I think Arkansas more so though. Like I think Tennessee's better than Notre Dame.
Yeah, I think Arkansas is better equipped to win that game probably just because of the quarterback than Mississippi State is with Tennessee.
Notre Dame is just going to be in desperation mode though because they know it's win out or it's not happening.
Yeah.
So
yeah, definitely for sure. But anyone else got anything?
Do not.
We doing one shining recap tomorrow night?
Yeah, I'd be down.
What time?
You asked me what time. I asked you what.
For one shining?
last night. I was like, I'm off work, so yeah. I'm about to say, anytime tomorrow, I'm good. Matt, you.
I should be able to.
It's
I'll let you guys know.
it's
I
been a
definitely
wild
don't
week
wanna
in the
miss
college
out.
basketball world. Like
The,
it's
Oh,
time
the
to
last
show.
couple weeks, like
Definitely the
We'll
wildest
text about one
September.
time,
in
Travis. We'll
college
figure out a
basketball
time and game
history.
plan.
Okay.
Yeah.
all these insane coaching drama things, like at every level. There's been insane stories.
But yeah, I think that's all we got for tonight. So y'all got any final comments? Anything y'all want to say?
I think we're good.
Should be
All
fun.
right.
Yeah.
Sweet.
It's going to be a great Saturday.
It's going to
I'll
be
be
incredible.
tailgating.
You're going to be oh wait, I almost forgot.
Yeah.
Jacob, your ETSU 2 minutes. Go for it.
Massive game for ETSU this weekend against Mercer. That's probably one of the better FCS games this weekend. We beat Elon last weekend. Tough game. There was a weather delay for like 2 hours, and then ETSU took care of business against Elon. Shout out Ephraim Floyd. Had a great game. Had like 145 receiving yards, something like that.
Is that all you got for your ETSU minute?
Yeah,
Are they going to beat the Bears?
I hope so. I think that'll be a good game. It'll be close.
All right. Well,
Happy
Travis,
birthday, Jacob.
Thank you.
Yeah, happy birthday, Jacob.
Yes. Happy birthday.
To the man. All right. Well, appreciate
I guess
everybody
it's still your birthday in my time zone, but not in your time zone.
Yeah.
It is here too.
25
Yes.
minutes past.
Well, it's still your birthday
Yeah,
for
and
me.
yeah.
All right. Appreciate everybody watching the Untitled College Football Episode 3. We'll see y'all same time next week.
See y'all.
Good show.